The woman dismantles her husband. Then she puts his flesh on the grill. The sound of the meat was instantaneous. She puts the meat in her mouth and chews it, even when the police surrounded her. The woman ate it all. That's how the woman was sentenced to life in prison. Because she was so vicious, she soon became the boss of the prison. Her poor cellmates had to repel mosquitoes every day, but she missed a female mosquito. The next day, the cellmate was beaten up by the woman, but what she didn't know was that there was another outstanding person in the prison. This scene was seen by Lee Geum-ja. She was sentenced to 11 years in prison for killing a boy. Lee Geum-ja was completely different from Big Sister. She was very friendly. Not only did she walk with her grandmother every day, she didn't even hesitate to give her cellmate a new kidney. To deal with Big Sister, she smeared soap on the bathroom floor. Without realizing it, Big Sister fell down on the floor. At the moment, Lee Geum-ja comes along and takes her to the infirmary, then feeds her under false pretenses. Having gained her trust, she enjoys eating her food. Unbeknownst to her, she was getting sicker and sicker. Kaneko continued to feed her for 2 years and 3 months. Big Sister was eventually poisoned to death. The inmates were very grateful to Lee Geum-ja for ridding the people of evil. This insignificant group of inmates would help Lee Geum-ja in her revenge. Because of Lee Geum-ja's outstanding performance in prison, she was soon released early. It was snowing heavily, but Lee Geum-ja still wore the dress she had been preyed upon in. The priest handed her a piece of white tofu and said that if she ate it, she would be a clean person. But Kaneko didn't hesitate to knock over the tofu and then said with a fierce face, "Mind your own business." Her road to revenge officially begins. The woman mounted the teacher's head on the dog's body and pulled it all the way to the edge of the cliff. Then she whispered in his ear, "Farewell." The teacher looked at the girl with horror, but the girl didn't hesitate. She took out her gun and shot him through the body. After killing her enemy with her own hands, a satisfied smile appeared on Kaneko's face. Although it was just a dream, she was not far from this moment. You'd never guess that this amiable kindergarten teacher was actually a murderer of 8 Down syndrome children. He specializes in picking the children from rich families in his class. After receiving the ransom from the parents, he wouldn't hesitate to kill the children. And Lee Geum-ja became the scapegoat because the murderer, by threatening his daughter, Lee Geum-ja had no choice but to confess to the murder of the children. She'd been in prison for decades, waiting for her revenge. After learning that Lee Geum-ja wanted revenge, her fellow inmates approached her and not only gave her drawings for a pistol, but one of them became Old Bai's wife. With this undercover agent, every move of Old Bai is in Gold's eyes. But what she never expected was that when they met, the priest bumped into them. He told Old Bai about it. Upon learning that Lee Geum-ja wanted to take revenge on himself, Old Bai hired 2 assassins. They stood guard on Lee Geum-ja's way home and then covered her mouth with death from behind. The smart Lee Geum-ja pretended to faint, then shot the killers when they turned around and killed them directly. On the other side, the undercover agent was not idle. She dragged the rice. Old Bai soon fainted. At this time, Gold also rushed over, but he didn't kill Old Bai directly. Instead, he called out to the parents, who were also victims, and played the footage to them. Seeing the children's agonizing pleas before they were born, the parents were devastated and decided to kill the murderer together. It was a trial without a judge. The parents were devastated because the video of their children's murder was shown on TV. After some discussion, they decided to draw lots to choose the order in which they would do it. The first one to go in was a wife. She looked at the murderer in front of her and stabbed him. Soon she came out covered in blood. Worried that the murderer wouldn't last long, the next 2 families were ready to go in together, each with a weapon in hand. They swarmed in. Screams rang out in the house. After a few minutes, they came out of the house with satisfied faces. The last one to go in was an old lady. Don't look at her. She's very thin, but she gave the murderer a fatal blow with her scissors. Afterwards, they cleaned up the scene in an orderly manner and buried the murderer's body in the field. Lee Geum-ja took out her gun and shot the body twice. She finally got her revenge. At this moment, he smiled happily. To celebrate the revenge, they held a banquet. Kaneko brought up a cake. This cake was very special. Lee Geum-ja made it with the blood of the murderer. She gave everyone a piece. Everyone tasted it slowly and ate it all. This is the end of the movie. I must say, Korean revenge movies are really good. The movie is called Chinjeolhan geumjassi. If you're interested, you can watch it. This time, it's a SM-style collective revenge. And it's so brutal that it shows us that ordinary people with no power can be so vicious in their revenge. This is in stark contrast to the clean and beautiful images of the entire movie. This is both a gorgeous revenge, but also a bland redemption. Revenge is a human being killing the enemy, an eye for an eye. But the redemption is the heart of gold once confused and ignorant. In the movie, interspersed with the love between Geum-ja and a 19-year-old boy, Geum-ja's bond with her long-lost daughter is the redemption for her. Still, from the moment Kaneko entered the prison 13 years ago, she stepped into an abyss. It's an abyss of no return, but it's also an abyss that leads to heaven. 13 years ago, the young Kaneko was just an ignorant materialistic girl. And the child she unintentionally conceived coincidentally or destinally became a bargaining chip to be blackmailed and thus imprisoned. All of this seems pitiful, but the blame lies with her. So should we pay the price for such a lost cause? The price for a rebellious youth? Then 13 years in prison is the price. This seems cruel a price, but it is redemption. Redemption for the confusion and ignorance of 13 years ago.